June 11th is fast approaching as we await the 2026 World Cup. But first, Man City have won the Carabao Cup over Arsenal. Gavi has returned to play for Barcelona in the midfield, and Antoine Griezmann leaves Atletico Madrid and joins Orlando City in MLS. Plus, the final spots for the World Cup are on the line as we approach the international window for March. It's a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. This is Between the Posts. Welcome back to Between the Posts, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eric. I'm your co-host. With me today, we have Liam.
Hello.
Welcome back, Liam.
Thank you.
Of course, Liam being our resident Premier League expert, we have a lot of Premier League stuff to talk about today. Let's get into it first with Manchester City winning in the Carabao Cup over Arsenal.
Yeah. It was a little bit of a slow burning game. Took a while to actually get into it. Kind of City and Arsenal were locked in a deadlock, but Nico Riley, just turning 21, promoted through the academy. He got a brace, so quite a good turnout for him that day.
Yeah, a couple of headers, balls into the box that he, basically he was the recipient of a poor play by the keeper. Ball goes through the keeper's hands. Ends up, free net, heads it right into the net. First goal. Second goal was a beauty. Arsenal is somewhat, I've done a fair bit of Arsenal hating on this show. I felt that Arsenal probably deserved a goal in that first half. The backup keeper for City, James Trafford, did a really good job on the Havertz ball in, and he closed the distance, got the save. Probably the biggest opportunity of the first half. Goes the way of Arsenal, but in that second half, in a lot of the ways, City just outplayed them, and they deserve the goals, and they deserve the final win. So
they also know how to negate. I mean, it still takes a very good team to do so, but we've seen throughout the course of the season. I mean, we're into the match week 30s now, but Arsenal are set piece maestros. And that we're not. This isn't the time or place to discuss is that good or anti-football. It's just they are great. If you give them a corner, they have the highest chance out of any team right now to score from that corner. If you give them the opportunity to make your team mess up, they have the most won own goals of any team as well, because they put the ball into dangerous spots. You have to get the ball into that spot to present the opportunity for an own goal.
This is true.
So they're really good at that attack positioning. And City, I mean, you have a tactical mastermind with Guardiola, who kind of helped. I mean, he was the mentor of Arteta. So he kind of really negated a lot of those threats from Arsenal, and we saw that in the second half they really struggled to get more of that.
It was really interesting to see City not press the center backs and just let the center backs sit there with the ball and kind of just not know where to go with it. It was really interesting to see how City really they didn't want to rush Arsenal at all. If the City basically said, "Oh, if Arsenal are just going to sit on the ball and not do anything with it, we'll just let them."
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that was a really smart tactical play, because if you rush forward, press those center backs and the full backs, you create gaps or space that could be exploited.
Right, exactly. In behind.
Back. And even if they don't score from that, they get their trademark corner.
Especially with the DMs that they have, Declan Rice just finding a spot in right behind the attacking line, putting a through ball in behind. I think it's really, really smart by City to say, hey, we're just going to sit basically 10 in coverage. We're going to put our 10 against your 6. Good luck.
Yeah.
And it's not like they had the fullbacks up the field. Like, they were just moving the ball side to side, it felt like. And there was a couple of times where there was a dangerous position where the ball maybe had some space on the wing. I'm thinking of Declan Rice sending the ball up to, like, Bukayo Saka on the first initial, through ball in that got Kai Havertz, his opportunity. City didn't allow that very often. And I find that if they go into these head-to-head matchups later in the season, because we're going to get at least one later in the season, are Arsenal going to be in fear of dropping points because of this? I think that Pep showed that in this final, if you're going to play in another final, the FA Cup, something to that effect, you've got to figure out how to beat City now if you're Arsenal.
Yeah, and I think it potentially creates a pit in their stomachs for more Champions League. I have to admit, I mean, we're coming into the tail end of the season. Arsenal are really going to have to drop the ball now.
Yeah.
I think they're 9 points ahead with a game in hand.
They're a game in
City
hand.
have a game in hand. Yeah.
Yeah, City have a game in hand, but I mean, it would, like I said, it would take Arsenal losing to City and some.
Yes. Yeah.
They would have to lose again or draw 3 times. They'd have to lose 6 points somewhere. So City would have to beat them. That would be 3. But then you have to find those other 3 points somewhere else.
Points where, I mean, they just haven't been doing it. Arteta's been really having a tight...
In the league itself, Arsenal have been dominant.
Yes.
They are, without a doubt, they are vulnerable. And I think City showed that. Now, City aren't in Champions League any longer.
Yeah.
Having been ousted by Real Madrid last week in a pretty embarrassing fashion.
Yeah.
However,
eternal rivals them.
Yeah, pretty much. However, City showed how to beat Arsenal. They say, hey, don't press their center backs. Don't leave space in the midfield. Make them have to be really direct with the ball in order to get it to where it needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you have like thinking specifically about Bayern Munich, Jonathan Tah isn't going to just roll over. Their midfield isn't going to just roll over, And so if you find yourself throwing or just kicking the ball into Bayern's back line, okay, what after that? Bayern are going to dominate possession. Like they're going to turn around and just not give you the ball. So I'm thinking about what Arsenal can do to kind of combat that, and certainly they would have to push their center backs up the field, and maybe one of these guys can push up and be sort of like a libero type, or a guy that can just have the ball at his feet. But until they've shown that their center backs are capable of doing that, I think this is the recipe for beating Arsenal.
Yeah, for right now, for sure. You just have to negate their, ability. They play good flowing football as well when they get the momentum and rhythm going, but they almost seem to be more happy to not have that rhythm go because they know that how strong they are on set pieces.
They
so
like
they're
to
happy
muck
to go
games
out
up a
and
lot.
slow stuff down in the opposition's final third. It's been really it's worked really well for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's but I mean they now I believe they play Sporting, because Sporting had, I mean, that's a game to talk about as well. Sporting
playing Sporting.
Sporting beat Bodo Glimt, who were having this
fantastic
amazing run.
Unbelievable.
And they'd already gone 3-0 up in the first leg, and
Sporting had a lot of work to do,
and after extra time it finishes 5-0. So Sporting have knocked out Bodo. It would have been interesting to see Bodo Glimt play Arsenal going up to that that stadium that is, as so many have frozen at this season.
I really wanted it just to see what Arsenal would be able to do in that environment.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of so one of my favorite shows is Megalobox, and it's this guy, and he's from the dirt, and he goes and he fights this fighter, and he's pristine, he's got all the best equipment, and I just love those stories because it goes to show talent versus talent, as opposed to payroll versus payroll kind of thing. And I think a Bodo Glimt's Arsenal match would have been the epitome of that, and bringing all this. And you could say the same thing with a Real Madrid or a Liverpool coming into Bodo Glimt's their stadium, and if they had advanced, yes, I would have really liked to seen it. I don't think they win. Still, I think we see a very similar result where they get trounced away.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
we'll be talking about Bodo Glimt for a while, and of course, with this sort of national attention, I'm sure there's going to be some expectation of success going forward with that team.
Oh yeah, I think they've garnered a lot of new fans.
Yes,
from this past.
I'm certainly myself,
run. So yeah, no, but that was an interesting game. Just because you wouldn't have after the first leg. I mean, Bodo just had Sporting gave them no real chance. They didn't really have any noticeable on target opportunity.
They almost. I mean, in the flow of that match, there was almost no possession for Bodo.
Yeah, it was just
they couldn't find the ball at all.
Sporting pressure. Waves.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, it's a miracle they gave up simply 3
in regulation.
Regulation, yeah.
Because it was. But our Arsenal got it done obviously against Leverkusen. PSG had already taken a comfortable lead against Chelsea, and I think they finished them out.
Chelsea having a really, really bad week. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So we're moving on to the Premier League right now. So before we get into Chelsea's abysmal performance, Arsenal and City, we talked about City being 6 points behind with a game in hand. Another thing that is certainly worth talking about prior to Chelsea and their bad run of form is Tottenham are still in relegation.
That's almost as
and they've actually dropped
as Arsenal winning the league is Tottenham getting relegated.
They've actually dropped to 17th. They were 16th. They're actually dropped to 17th. Norwich or Nottingham Forest are 2 points clear of Tottenham.
And they just spanked Tottenham 3-0.
Yeah.
So they've been leapfrogging. If West Ham actually tried this season, they all we needed was West Ham to be mildly
Well, I almost think
decent.
it's more likely that West Ham get a draw or a win than Tottenham getting a draw and a win for the rest of the season.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, Igor is completely flubbed over there. Hasn't gotten anything going for them. I mean, they were 16th when they played Liverpool and they drew 1-1. And what's the Brazilian who played? Charleston. Charleston's over there like hitting poses and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay,
the greatest.
First off,
the ball
it's a draw. Second off,
time.
You guys are points above the relegation zone, and he's mogging on Anfield. But
that's just for Charleston. Like
I know
that's just how he is in particular. Leading the line for that Tottenham team cannot be fun, but
yeah.
So for Chelsea lose 8-2 in aggregate to Paris Saint-Germain. They lose 3-0 this weekend against Everton.
Yeah.
Everton looked amazing. They looked so good. Chelsea have been abysmal, and I don't know what fixes it. Is it does Fabregas fix it? I don't even know what fixes it.
I think they just throw more money at the situation, like Bowley's been doing. I mean, if I'm Fabregas, I mean, he's having.
I stay at Como if I'm Fabregas.
His Cuomo experiment's been
very good,
quite decent.
And I think they just won 5-0 this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're says Fabregas, stay at Como. Don't be enticed by a potential Liverpool job, Chelsea job. Don't be enticed. If in the event they don't go with Michael Carrick, at United, don't be enticed by a United job. Stay in Italy, because you could be the next great Italian manager. In that league.
For that league, absolutely. I think it's we've seen. He hasn't done an invincible season 1 a league like that, but like Xavi at Bayern Leverkusen, we saw a young manager getting to actually play his style, getting the fans behind him, getting full support of his team, getting the full support of his board, and then he jumped ship for it was the Real Madrid job, but he jumped ship for what he thought was going to be.
It was very expected, though.
It was Madrid. Things. It's like if you get sacked from Madrid, what else was new? You can't be. I honestly, even if he went and won the treble in his first season at Madrid, I wasn't looking at Xavi being the manager of Madrid for the next decade. It's not that type of club. It's the first season that you don't win something major is your last season.
Yeah.
At that club. Chelsea try to emulate that to the best of their ability in the Premier League.
It's difficult to do that in the Premier League, given like I like to think about in terms of great coaching. I find that the National Basketball Association, the NBA, is full of great coaches, and a lot of them don't have jobs. And there are some bad coaches with jobs. And ultimately, it comes down to politics. So you can be a great coach, but if a club doesn't think that they're in a position to win right now, for what reason would they spend $10 million, hire you as a great coach, and then have you be upset that you're not buying better players, that you're not, investing more in the youth, whatever. If there's certain things that a great coach is noticing about a club and the club already knows these things and the coach is like, well, fix them. Well, just fire the coach. If you have no interest in fixing these things, or if you feel like it'll take longer than a year or two or whatever, if there's some sort of timeline where you're like, hey, we can't fix this right now. Let's wait until it's fixed until we sign a really great coach. I think I think a lot of teams want to do that. So, for example, like if you're United, you're going into next season with so much momentum. Off of a season in which you were kind of like, we're not going to win anything. Amarim is a disaster. This team is a disaster. The roster construction is a disaster. And you pull away and you're in fourth.
Yeah. No, we're definitely finishing way better than any of us thought we would have. And, Villa have been shaky recently. I know they've just, I believe they won 2-0 against West Ham.
They're still in fifth.
But, I believe...
Or no, Liverpool's in fifth now.
In fifth, yeah. Chelsea's sixth. I think we're third right now.
I think you're right.
And then Villa's behind us.
I have this somewhere.
we could finish, Champions League spots. But we still also have a lot of questions, big questions surrounding...
look at you.
Yeah.
So correction, Man United third in the league, 1 point above Villa. Villa fourth in the league, Liverpool, and then Chelsea.
Yeah, and we would have been better if we didn't. We just drew with Bournemouth 2-2. Got Harry Maguire got sent off straight red.
But you've got to be pretty satisfied with only 6 losses.
Oh no, we definitely do. When you look at it, we're actually one of the best or hardest teams to defeat. I think we have 10 draws.
Yeah,
we have 6 losses,
which is
it was just
how much of that is being unlucky and missing a chance here or there.
All of those losses that I don't believe in the league yet. Am I about to speak out of place? Let me think. But I don't believe Carrick in the league yet has
a loss.
We've drawn. No, I think we have lost 1.
Maybe so.
But it's just a lot of it was we were drawing to teams that we shouldn't be drawing against. We were just squandering possession. Amarin didn't have. We have a lot of questions still potentially open. I mean, Carrick is only an interim. We've been talking about potentially getting him signed, but until we do, we've already confirmed Casemiro, who, oh my goodness, when this is like a new mythical player. Casemiro, final leg of his contract, is a different player. He has been phenomenal these recent games. He's confirmed to be leaving. So he's been the linchpin of the entire system that Carrick's been doing, where he can defend really well. He's been attacking amazingly. He's been coming up with goals. We need a new holding midfielder. I think we need, Diogo Dalot is a fullback that has like 99 attack positioning and 1 on finishing. He just can't. He can get into the spots. He's always seemingly there, back post, or he's just made a great run, but he just can't. He can't finish a ball. He can't cross a ball.
Who's the manager? There's a manager. He came out and said, I can't remember which manager it is. He basically came out and said that I prefer a player who can get into position than a player who can finish. And it was one of these like expected goals versus actual goal conversations. It's like, I want the guy who has a higher number of expected goals.
Yeah, like money balling it through.
So essentially he was saying more chances equals more goals. like higher quality chances don't necessarily mean more goals.
Yeah.
Just because the chances are of a higher quality doesn't mean, like, essentially he would prefer you kick a ball 100 times from 100 feet away than 10 times from 10 feet away. Does that make sense?
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah. But I got what you were meaning before.
Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Do you believe that you prefer like a very clinical striker, or do you believe that a striker who can get into position and necessarily isn't as clinical is more beneficial? I'm interested to see, because obviously there is a correct answer, and the correct answer is on the pitch. So
yes. But for scouting purposes, you also got to need, like, for your situation, you need to know what teams the clinical play. Because when you want a player that isn't scoring a lot, but getting into great spots, but maybe he's not scoring because he's playing for the likes of Wolves, like this season.
Yeah.
You know, where they have an expected goals of 1.6 a game, but they've only actually been scoring not 0.2 or something.
Right.
Because they're playing for a team that just can't do it. Or would you rather have a player that seemingly is scoring, you know, all the time? A good example, and he's a great player still, so I'm not taking away from him, but like a Julian Alvarez, who would be coming on as a super sub for Man City years ago, but he was still scoring every single time. But it was like, is that the team? Is he playing for such a good team that no matter what, he's going to score anyway? Well, no, he's gone to Atletico Madrid. Now we see he's a phenomenal striker.
Right.
But it was, those type, you know, would you rather have the player that could be doing it for a big team, he just needs the opportunity, or would you rather have a player that's already doing it for a big team, but if you put him in a squad that's not as clinical, does he drop off as well?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That is so loud.
But yeah, by the way, just since we are talking about Prem, since we've been filming this, my phone's been going mental. I don't know about yours.
Yeah, I've just checked, actually.
Yeah, breaking news coming out of Anfield. Mo Salah, official, is set to leave at the end of this season. He has come out and said this is his farewell tour, evidently. And Liverpool Football Club have now also officially confirmed that this will be the final season.
If I'm a Liverpool fan, fire Slot tomorrow. Slot is the reason Salah wants to leave.
You're probably not wrong. Now, he has been dancing with the opportunity of leaving for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
Since Klopp was even there, Saudi's been knocking on that door, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but if I offer you, hey, stay with your wife and kids whom you love, or $100 million. If you love your wife and kids, you're going to say your wife and kids every time. Mm-hmm. If you don't love your wife and kids, you're going to take $100 million. You're
going to start.
If Mo Salah doesn't want to stay at Liverpool because he doesn't like it there anymore, any amount of money is going to draw him away.
Yes, yeah.
But they could have just stuck by their star, backed their star, said the media is completely in the wrong here. This guy is a champion. This guy is a multiple-time Premier League Player of the Year, multiple-time Golden Boot winner. But no, they didn't do that.
Nope. Had
they done that, maybe he would finish his career at Liverpool.
Yeah, it's
But I mean, it's difficult to talk about the mentality of a player. It's even more difficult to talk about the mentality of a player after a scandal. The normal player mentality, you're thinking, does he value money? Does he value the relationship with the club? Do they like living in the city that they're in? Is there something external from football that would affect the way that they play on the pitch? All of these things are supposed to be mitigated by the club.
Yes, yeah.
They were exacerbated by the club. Yeah, I don't blame Salah for wanting to leave. If I'm a Liverpool fan, if I cared a modicum about this team, I'm furious.
So you think this...
I think this is a result of what has happened earlier this season with Mo Salah. I think if Mo Salah had made the decision with no scandal, we would be going, it was time. But that's not my thought because of this. My thought because of this is they forced him out.
Yeah. No, that's kind of how you would be looking at, because obviously he's been now he also whenever he was getting benched, he was voicing his opinions very publicly about that instead of just let's not bat around the bush. Salah hasn't had a great season. Now he's 33, I think. He's hitting ages.
Name a Liverpool winger who has had a good season. Go.
Yes. The fact that
the system isn't built for Salah. He hasn't had a good season because it's not a system that is for him.
No, exactly. I think they play a 4-2-2-2, right?
I mean, yeah, they play a 4-2-4. So
yeah,
but I mean, even ask a Liverpool fan. They started Gakpo for like 30 games, and he was abysmal in every single one.
It's
are you asking me if Cody Gakpo is a bad player? I don't think he is. Yeah. I think whatever they want their wingers to do in that system is complete and utter bullshit. And those wingers aren't capable of doing whatever it is they're supposed to be doing in that system. I mean, we talked at length like 3 or 4 months ago about that system whenever the league started, and Liverpool were just losing games left and right. Mm-hmm. And I talked about how they were wanting to use the wingers defensively, but they were so far forward and they were in the press, but they would just get caught out. And the ball would go in behind, and then the midfielders were trying so hard to make up for that space, and then they're leaving even more space in behind. And then you have essentially your back line on an island against strikers and midfielders. So whatever it is the system is, the reason for your best winger in recent history wanting to leave is because they've changed the system to where his ability is not valued. Because his ability is not valued, his numbers go down. Because his numbers go down, it's reason enough to say, oh, he's a bad player. He doesn't need to play for Liverpool anymore. He's washed. He's this, he's that. Salah could go into a system that prizes good winger play and immediately become the same player.
Oh, I agree. I think he also, he goes to, depends on what league he goes to. Because if he goes, there's going to be those usual, if he goes to like the Saudi league or something, he's taking a step down. But I think he definitely could. He could go to like a team in Italy or Spain right now. Or maybe he goes to do PSG.
I would really like for him to go and join an Italian team. I think him at Juventus could be really good.
And he already played for Roma. He has
connections. He could go back to Roma. Still in Serie A. So, yeah, I like the Italy. I like the Italy move.
I would too.
I talked earlier this year about him being
but
in
I
the
think
Turkish
he takes the See, the Turkish could be. He could do because they've been spending a lot of big money recently.
That's what I think.
And he could go and join like Osman at Galatasaray
if he wants to stick around. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's 34, I think 33. He deserves. If I'm Salah, I just go and take the big payday. You had the Saudi league looking to make you the most paid, highest paid athlete 3 seasons ago. I'm sure there's still going to be some offers floating around there.
I've got a good idea. It's an idea. Probably cost a lot, but it's an idea. So, piggybacking off of this, Antoine Griezmann is moving to Orlando City from Atleti.
Yes. Yep.
Kind of a work in progress most of the winter. Finally get the job done. Bringing their guy to Orlando City. I think it's going to be huge for City. Griezmann, I think he's still the leading goal scorer for Atleti.
Yeah.
This season.
He scored a couple against Tottenham. He's been playing really well.
Yeah. He's still a great player.
Yeah.
By no stretch of the imagination is he not a good player. He kind of got phased out a little bit of the Atleti project. Being phased out of the Atleti project, going to MLS, being phased out of the Liverpool project, potentially going
over to Atleti
to MLS.
Oh, MLS as well. He could.
Who needs a winger in MLS?
Yeah, no, there's tons of opportunity.
I think it would be cool if he went. Obviously, you've got your big name clubs.
I don't know where he goes though. Of course, like Inter Miami would be the first team to try and get his signature, but do they really need him? Not really.
No, they don't need him. Certainly not. And I think they're kind of full up. Yeah. I don't know if they have any more wiggle room in their roster construction, as crazy as their roster is already. So you're probably looking at a team that I would love for him to join Dynamo, but Dynamo don't really need him. Well, I say they don't really need him. They've just spent a bunch of money on a different.
Well, yeah, we
winger.
would. This is the thing. Wherever he goes, I think Salah right now at Liverpool, I think he's one of the top 5 paid athletes in the Prem by
I wouldn't be shocked by that at all. It would probably take a Saudi league team to match his salary.
If Houston signed Salah, because it would be it's a release of contract, but they would. We would bankrupt ourselves. We have to change the name of Shell Stadium to Salah Stadium. It would bankrupt us with how much he would be.
Yeah, no, there's no money in the Houston Dynamo salary cap structure for that. But I mean, they could get creative with some of these other teams that just don't have a lot of. Like, I'm thinking specifically of a team that really, really wants young players to play, and maybe having a veteran, champion. A guy who's competed at the biggest level multiple times.
Yeah, he'd come over to a team and basically be like a Thomas Muller has for Vancouver.
Yeah, I would love. I don't know if it's even physically possible with the salary rules and the roster construction. I would love for him to go to New York Red Bull. New York Red Bull, full of young American talent, full of it's a first-year head coach player, or first-year player coach, in Michael Bradley. I think that would be a really interesting scenario.
Yeah.
To see if those young players can become even better, even quicker with that sort of tutelage, with that sort of mentorship. And I think Michael Bradley could find really creative ways to use Mo Salah.
Yeah. Well, also, you look at Liverpool. I mean, we have confirmed Salah is heading out. But even if Slot stays or Slot goes, there's going to be a big turnover of players, it looks like.
Absolutely. Especially given that they just gave all that money to all those new players.
Yeah, no. It seems like a lot of old faces are going to be leaving. I mean, Liverpool have been playing so poorly, and Slot's system has been so inconsistent that people are saying that I think he's been a decent center back, but people are this season this is exposing Virgil van Dijk as the center back he truly has been.
Like I say, they get put on an island back there.
It is
whatever weaknesses Virgil van Dijk has. Yeah, they're on full display.
Yes,
his ability to, whether he doesn't get dribbled past or whatever, his inability to be a stopper.
He's not the one that rushes and closes down. He needs to be playing with. Usually,
some of those old Premier League center backs that I'm thinking of that were just missiles. Like Vidic and some of those guys where they would just.
Oh yeah, but for every Vidic and for every Yap Stam, you would have a Pallister, you'd have Ferdinand,
Rio,
where you had that someone drops deep or someone smashes, and Robertson for them, the Scotland captain fullback, he would go and charge down and let Virgil drop further, and then if Robertson, be it he wins the ball or causes a bit of a push in possession, then Virgil can go. But yeah, it's just been. They've been so poor.
Yeah.
That every single position on that pitch has been coming under criticism. Allison's been coming under criticism. It's like, yeah, two seasons ago, he's up there in the top 3 of
keepers in the world.
Right. Yeah, he's been coming the whole thing, and it's like, yeah, I don't know what they do. I don't know.
I don't even know who you bring in.
That's also
who do you bring in to replace Salah? Like, are you going to just trust whoever's on?
Xavi Alonso's free. He played for Liverpool. He was a big proponent. But that would be, again, that's not. I think Alonso would do probably a good job at Liverpool, because Liverpool, almost the manager gets put on a pedestal different to other clubs.
I'm not so much opposed to Liverpool, the club, or the player structure or any of that. I'm just more opposed to Slot than anything, because I feel like Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool had so much aura.
Bold Dutch fraud. You guys are Liverpool's realizing it, like we did with bloody Ten Hag.
Yeah, these
and
Dutchmen.
Then, Van Gaal it wasn't bold, but fraud. He was He was perfect for. Dutch managers stay out of the Prem.
Dutch managers, Dutch strikers, Memphis Depay, get out of here, man.
I know.
I'm just kidding. Catching a stray Memphis Depay.
He was rubbish for us. He goes and he plays all right for Lyon, and then he joins Barcelona because Coleman is and that's another Dutch connection. So the Dutch just stick together. That's the truth of it.
Certainly. Speaking of sticking together, we've got a couple of national teams vying for a trip to the World Cup. We've got playoff qualifiers. I mean,
Turkey, few final spots getting filled for the World Cup.
A couple of our matches that we want to highlight here because we think they're super important. Turkey, Romania, Sweden versus Ukraine. Big match between Italy, hoping to make it to this World Cup, and Northern Ireland. We've got Denmark having lost to
Scotland,
having lost to Scotland 4-2 in that banger match.
A fantastic match. I'm not just saying this as a Scotsman, but if you want to watch 4 of the best goals you will see,
I'll second this.
Go and watch Scotland versus Denmark. 4-2.
Super good match.
Oh my goodness.
So Denmark hoping to bounce back from that against North Macedonia, and then Ireland versus Czechia. So Ireland, Scotland. We don't have it up there, but Wales are playing Bosnia Herzegovina. Yes.
So you could have, if Northern Ireland somehow beat Italy, and Ireland beat Czechia, and Wales beat. I mean, not all of them can qualify technically. So, I think one of them would get.
Yeah, one of them
would
get bounced
to get knocked out. Yeah. But you could have a lot of the Isles showing up.
Yeah,
and Ireland to the party.
You could have Wales, Northern Ireland facing off against. Potentially,
yes.
Scotland, UK,
in the latter stages,
yeah. So
England and Scotland have already qualified,
and then Wales are trying to qualify. A lot of these teams in that neck of the woods, pretty good.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, Czechia is a decent team. Czech Republic. Czech Republic. They have a really good midfield. I would expect Denmark to beat North Macedonia, but we expected Italy to beat North Macedonia for the Euro spot a couple years ago, and that didn't happen. Speaking of which, Italy have been flubbing chances left, right, and center since they won the Euros back in 2016.
Which was
haven't even qualified for the last 2
They probably
World
shouldn't
Cups.
have won that to begin with, but
they're Northern Ireland will. I wouldn't be looking at it as a frightful game. Italy have been terrible in these type of situations. Go and put the pressure on them.
Yeah.
Sweden Ukraine is the game with the 2 highest rated.
I think that's my match. I think that's my match of the week is Sweden Ukraine.
It should be a banger because I think Ukraine's ranked
49th.
No, Ukraine's a bit higher. I think they're 30th and Sweden's 42nd.
Oh, okay.
Because Sweden missed out in the World Cup recently, and Ukraine beat Scotland for a Euro spot a couple of years ago, I believe. That'll be good. And Turkey, Romania are also similar. Both those teams are also Romania's 49th and Turkey's 27th, I think, or 37th. So they're both in the top 50 as well. These decent teams all vying for a spot in the world's biggest game.
Arda Güler will be looking to make a big impact for Turkey, I'm sure. He had a huge impact in their Euro run. I'm looking to see that, he's been really good for Madrid this season. In particular.
Troy Parrott for Ireland, hat trick against Portugal, beat Hungary as well. I think brace against Hungary. The Szoboszlai's Hungary looked like they were set to be joining this list. Instead, he breaks their heart. So a lot of pressure on him. But if Parrott performs, that'll be who Ireland's looking out for. But yeah, Sweden Ukraine probably is the team or the 2 highest ranked teams facing each other. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top.
Yeah,
a lot of yellow in that match.
And not to leave anybody out or in the dark, there are a couple of other matches taking place on the other side of the world. We have Bolivia, Suriname, and New Caledonia facing Jamaica. The winner of those matches will face the Democratic Republic of Congo. So the winner of Bolivia, Suriname will face Congo. And the winner of New Caledonia and Jamaica will face Iraq. We kind of expect Congo and Iraq to advance regardless.
Yeah, I mean Iraq, again, Jamaica or New Caledonia. I think that's I don't want to say easy game, but I think Iraq should be.
Yeah,
winning
Jamaica
that.
have just been in a really bad run of form over the last couple of years.
Yeah,
They haven't been competing in CONCACAF the way that they're accustomed to competing.
Yeah, and then Congo. I believe Congo's the team that has the amazing support, be it at home or traveling. They have the gentleman that I think he holds up. His
I cannot
hand.
remember. I think that was the Congo.
I think that's Congo. I'm just looking at the flag colors, and I remember the guy's suit.
Let me double check because
so I would hope I want that guy at the World Cup. He looked.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was Congo.
So yeah, I think if I had to guess, it would be Bolivia versus Congo, and then just to say, I think Jamaica's the better team, but I think New Caledonia beat Jamaica.
That's a take. Okay, cool. We'll come back to that.
So that probably watch Jamaica win 7-0 or something.
Those matches are taking place on Thursday, March 26th. So you'll probably be seeing this on a Wednesday, if I had to guess, because we're recording on Tuesday. So probably be seeing this on a Wednesday. So look out for these matches taking place on Thursday. And I think a lot of these, all of the knockout playoffs take place about 3:00 on Thursday. One match, I think, taking place at noon, which is the early slate, Turkey, Romania. So once you're done with that, pick one of the games, from the knockout slate to watch. It'll be about 3:00. It's going to be a lot of really great football to watch.
Yep.
Man, I don't think I have anything else that I want to talk about today. We'll get more into kind of the bigger news with Griezmann coming to MLS. That'll be something we talk about.
I mean, the Salah stuff literally just broke.
The Salah stuff took up a lot of our time, I think, but at the same time,
that was impromptu because, well, I mean, literally by the time our next podcast is around, that there'll be
a lot more to talk about.
100 news stories about this.
Yeah, that's the thing about. That's why I get so frustrated. As an audience, thank you guys for watching. And if you expect us to come out each and every single week, trust me, I try to get an episode out each and every single week. Sometimes it doesn't work, people's schedules and what have you. But it's always, I would like to record twice a week because we have so much to talk about.
There's a lot, especially, I mean, when the World Cup is actually on, we should be trying to do twice a week, I feel. Because
just to be like, hey.
There's going to be so much going on.
Every group played since we last recorded, so let's talk about the matches. It'll be certainly an adjustment for us. Our recording schedule during the World Cup will be very hectic and crazy, and I'm looking forward to it immensely. But I just want to apologize to you guys if you're looking for weekly releases and they don't come. Trust me, please trust me. I'm doing my absolute best to get episodes out. But we do what we can here at Apollo, and we do what we can here at Between the Posts.
Yeah.
You can find us on our social media at Between the Posts Official, everywhere except for our Twitter, which is _BTP official. We look forward to seeing you guys in our socials. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Eric.
I've been Liam.
Take it easy, you guys. Thank you very much.
Have a good one.